And good morning. It's time for your Alabama WX weather briefing video. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray. It is Sunday, January the 4th, 2025. Welcome to 2025. And we've got some cold weather to talk about. And whenever that happens in Alabama, us snow fans start going, when's it going to snow? And is it going to snow? And what's going to happen? But lots to talk about. Lots of uncertainty still in the forecast. But we're beginning to get some ideas about the overall patterns over the next 7 to 10 days and on out through 2 weeks. But let's start off by looking at the national map. This is late on Saturday evening here. First, I want to turn the volume down on those notifications there for you. This is the United States tonight, watch warning map. And we have got tons of colors on here. Lots of winter weather advisories. That's the lilac color that you see here. I guess that's what I'll call it. Call it as lilac. This is large areas of winter weather advisories. We've got a blizzard warning for a good bit of central, eastern, northeastern Kansas into northwestern Missouri through tomorrow. We've got winter storm warnings all the way over to the Washington, D.C. area. Washington, D.C. could pick up, 6 to 9 inches of snow out of this system. Places like Indianapolis could get 8 to 12 inches. Cincinnati could get 5 to 9 inches. And these are significant snows. Areas around Kansas City, St. Louis could see a foot of snow. Now, also mixed into that's a lot of freezing rain, and that's causing problems. We've got ice storm warnings on the southern edge of the winter storm warning here through southern Kentucky, southeastern Missouri, and those are a concern. This is a winter storm watch for parts of the mid-Atlantic. We've got lake effect snow warnings in the lake effect snow belts of the Great Lakes there, Erie and Ontario. We've got freeze warnings in southeast Georgia into North Florida. And we got some wind watches, wind advisories, high wind watches, all these sort of things. It is a very, very busy map, to say the least, out there across the United States. And this is sort of what it looks like. At 500 millibars, this is the 500 millibar pattern with the radar underlaying it and the surface temperatures. But you see we've got a trough of low pressure here, pretty deep trough, that is progressing eastward. It's bucking up this little bit of a ridge here over the southern United States. That's going to give us a little bit warmer conditions. We've been chilly, and we're going to get some warmer conditions during the day on Sunday. As a matter of fact, as we go through the night tonight, these temperatures will actually, over Alabama, increase. This is what it looks like here at 11:30. Temperatures have been in the 30s, but they're already beginning to climb. You see there 39 to 41 there in Lawrence County. So you probably see your readings come up overnight. Looking just to the west of Alabama, we've got radar echoes already showing up over Arkansas, northern Louisiana, into northern Mississippi. But of course, all of that precipitation is rain. It is a different story over the middle part of the country. This is what is going on over the mid part of the United States at this hour, 11:30 tonight. We got a mix from central Kansas through the Hutchinson, Wichita areas and Emporia, south of Topeka. It's 25 in Topeka right now, 24 in Kansas City. The SPC does have this MCD here for the threat of increasing freezing rain over the next several hours. Actually expecting some instability and perhaps some thunder snow, thunder freezing rain, thunder sleet, any of these things there. But this activity as the low moves on to the east tomorrow, and we can kind of take a peek at what's going on at the surface. You've got this surface low that's developing out here. Over Colorado, it will move. Well, I guess actually our surface low is here over North Texas. This is going to shift to the east and northeast over the next 24 hours. And as it does, it'll pull the northwestern quadrant of the low back over Kansas, Missouri. This is where you've got the blizzard warning in effect, and the snow will spread on east during the day on Sunday into early Monday. And you'll get all of those interesting snowfall amounts. Now, this is what we expect temperatures, this is what the morning lows are going to be like. And I say morning lows because, this is going to, these readings are going to rise during the night. And, by later today on your Sunday, this is what highs will look like. See, we got a long way to go from those lows. I mean, it's about a 30-degree jump. That's not just going to happen automatically, especially with all the clouds tomorrow. High temperatures tomorrow are going to look like, 56 up in the northeast corner of the state, 57 to 59 across the Tennessee Valley, somewhere between 59 and 62 in the I-20 corridor, middle 60s further south. Probably going to hit 70 there in Mobile and across the Florida Panhandle, also to the west, back in Louisiana and Mississippi, and that's where we got a problem. This is the day 2 outlook that's out right now, and it's going to look a lot like the day 1 will look when it comes out in just a couple of hours. We have an enhanced risk of severe weather over the Mississippi River Delta, western Mississippi, the extreme southeastern part of Arkansas, and northeastern Louisiana. That's where we could have a better chance of damaging winds. And we'll look at the possibility, an isolated tornado or two in that area. As a matter of fact, it would be nice to just look at the day 2 tornado outlook, and you see we do have a 10% area there in that Mississippi Valley region. The wind outlook, the chance of 58 mile per hour winds, within 25 miles of any location in that area is over 30%. So that's pretty substantial. But the categorical severe, goes into Alabama. We've got a marginal risk, that's level 1 out of 5, for the western half of Alabama. And that's because this stuff is going to be weakening as it moves into Alabama. It will move further away from the greater instability, and it will be moving into the less favored part of the day. But we've got a level 2 risk across almost all the state of Mississippi, good bit of Louisiana, southeastern Texas into southeastern Oklahoma. Now, by the time we get to Monday, everything will be shifted, much as it was last week, just shifted by a day. This is kind of what the Sunday day 3, or what the Sunday outlook looked like last week. With activity over southeastern Georgia and northern Florida. Let's use the HRRR to kind of show you what the future radar may look like. This is at 6 a.m. This morning as you're watching this video. See a few scattered showers there in the warm advection pattern showing up across Alabama. Some heavier showers just to the west over northeastern Mississippi. Those are going to push across the state during the morning hours. And as we get to about 11 o'clock, a secondary band, I think this is pretty consistent with a lot of the modeling. Secondary band of showers. You're going to go through a couple of phases, couple of waves of showers during the day. But you'll see those begin to increase by 2, 3 o'clock. And looking to the west, we see our line of thunderstorms. A pretty decent squall line by 3 o'clock, extending from west of Memphis down into southeastern Arkansas, approaching the Alexandria, Louisiana, and Alexandria area in central Louisiana. That will cross into Mississippi there about 4 o'clock. Be moving through Oxford and Natchez by 5 o'clock, and then by 6 o'clock, it'll be through Tupelo. By 7, it's approaching the northwest corner of Alabama. By 8 o'clock, it's moving into parts of Winston down into Lamar and Fayette. It's then through Walker, approaching Tuscaloosa by 9 o'clock, getting ready to come into the Birmingham area. That's a pretty decent squall line. By 10, it's going to have really strong gusty winds with it. I think that's a pretty high probability, but you can see from these radar echoes that it is these projected radar echoes that it is weakening. It's into East Alabama there by midnight, 1 a.m. It's past Anniston, and then it's approaching Auburn here by 3 a.m. and it's on into Georgia by 4 a.m., 5 a.m. on Monday, and all the rain is gone by that point. Now that's what the radar looks like. Moving this on out a little bit, and really going back just a tad, we got to worry about a few snow flurries coming through the Tennessee Valley there early Monday morning, and that is consistent with all the modeling. Maybe a little band of some lighter snow could affect areas as far south as Walker County, perhaps down into Coleman County and Blount County, maybe over to Etowah County. Don't expect any accumulations from this, but we'll see. Well, I'll be pretty excited, titillated by a few snowflakes during the day on Monday. You see, as we get over here to about 2 p.m., we still got snow showers in northeast Alabama. It's continued to be cloudy all day. It will be much, much colder. High temperatures on Monday are going to be considerably different. You see that difference. These are Monday highs. Won't get out of the freezing zone in the northwestern corner of the state. Barely getting out of the 30s anywhere to the northwest of I-59 with 40s and quickly falling temperatures through the afternoon. Now, by Tuesday morning, everybody's going to be in the deep freeze. We'll be in the lower 20s in North Alabama, middle 20s in Central Alabama, with middle and maybe upper 20s limited to South Alabama. Now, that's going to be kind of where we're at. Some of the colder locations on Wednesday morning will be in the teens, but almost everybody will be in the lower 20s. And then by Thursday, it looks like we could be 3 to 4 degrees colder. So northern Alabama, you could be in the 15 to 18 degree range. Central Alabama, you could be in the 18 to 22 degree range. Then we begin to warm up a little bit on Friday, a little bit on Saturday, and things are getting just a little better. Now let's look at highs off the national blend of models. This is Tuesday. Most everybody north of I-20 staying in the 30s. That seems an even better bet for Wednesday. Thursday, we're talking about a lot of locations in North Alabama may not get out of the 30s until Sunday. So that is significant. And today is an interesting time. Today is an important day in history because we were on the third day of the longest cold streak we've had in Birmingham, at least the longest period, sub 25 degree lows. And I've got this written up on the blog this morning. But for 13 straight days, we were at 24 or below, and that's the longest such streak in Birmingham history. And that was just back in 2010. So, but that kind of tells you, what to expect. This is the pattern across North America. Let's use it to kind of judge what the forecast is going to do here. Here's our system moving out of the plains into the Midwest, staying strong as it moves through the Ohio Valley Monday night, and it exits the mid-Atlantic there Tuesday night and Wednesday. Our next system dives out of the southwestern United States into Mexico, begins to phase up or try to phase up with a system over the Midwest, but that's going to become the dominant system. That system moves our way for next weekend, and that means another chance of wintry precipitation. We'll see how that goes. Finally, system moves out of the Rockies, sort of picks up that disturbance out of the southwest, but that system really has a hard time coming to the east, but finally begins to do it out of the end of the period. Well, let's see. I'm going to go back to here. Looks like we finally start to see some warmer conditions by the end of the period. Look at that high pressure ridging. A little January thaw will be in order by the end of the period out around January 19th and 20th. Now, this is the GFS, the surface map, showing that surface low there near Tulsa on Sunday morning. Widespread area of wintry precipitation to the north of the low. There, everything from freezing rain from extreme northern Tennessee, western Kentucky. We've got sleet there in orange from southern Illinois, a little bit of central Kentucky, back through Missouri and into eastern Kansas. But that activity is going to be changing over to snow in eastern Kansas and Missouri and eventually moving on to the east. Now, I have to say this, model run is not quite as bullish. This is the 18Z run, not quite as bullish on the snow, but I think the big snow amounts are justified. The European doesn't look very much different for us. But we've talked about what we can expect here in Alabama, the big snow amounts to the north, or what we can expect, across the country. The big snow amounts to the north here in Alabama. We're going to deal with storms and rain tonight, strong winds, and the chance of some severe weather. Now, as we get past, tomorrow, colder, high pressure in charge. Here comes our next system by Thursday. Some of the earlier model runs have brought this activity in even earlier on Thursday, but I think it's a good bet that we get through most of Thursday dry, maybe Thursday night late. I think your activities on Thursday will be fairly normal. Rain moves in by Friday morning. It could be cold enough over the northern third of Alabama, perhaps as far south as I-20, for there to be a wintry mix. Some freezing rain, some sleet, maybe a little bit of snow, and certainly that should change over to rain as we go through the day, and then move on out. But the GFS on this 18Z run has had an area of light snow developing back behind it. Not any significant accumulations, probably a half inch to 1 inch across North Alabama, but ice is something we worry about, especially it doesn't take very much ice at all to cause big problems, and we'll see how that kind of goes. Now, how does the European treat this second system? Looks a lot like that, like the GFS. A little bit more snow on the front end. Late Thursday night, changing over to a wintry mix and then to rain, a little bit of light snow on the backside, but not as bullish on the wintry precipitation. So we'll see how that goes. But as we go on through time, maybe another little wintry mix there next Sunday night and Monday, turning over to rain. Some snow kind of glances by to the northeast there. But then this next system finally out here looks like it will be all rain. Now, these are snowfall amounts through Monday night across the United States, and I'll kind of zoom in here. Let's see. Let's go Midwest, perhaps. Let's go here. And you see, still a foot of snow in some places, like northern Kansas, the Kansas City area, perhaps over to St. Louis, in those regions. As you go toward the mid-Atlantic, snowfall amounts look like this off the GFS. Then these are freezing rain amounts, which are, very, very serious, especially in the middle part of the country there. Let's go to the Ohio Valley. When you start talking about 3/4 of an inch of ice right here along the Ohio River, you got big problems. Places like Murray, Kentucky, 1/3 of an inch. Madisonville, Kentucky, 6/10 of an inch. I kind of think these are a little bit overdone, and I hope that's true, but that's why you have the ice storm warning and the winter storm warnings that are in effect. Now, the good news is, well, I guess this is the short-term news. We're above normal, today, but we're in the deep freeze, as you know. We've well advertised this, and perhaps this cold is not quite as intense as some of the model runs were predicting a week or 10 days ago. But we're consistently cold through the 14th, through the 16th, the 17th, and we finally begin to warm up by Sunday the 19th into Monday the 20th, and we will be grateful for that. This is what those temperatures, we got to go back one model run here. This is what those temperatures look like out there by that Sunday, the 19th. You see some pretty warm weather, and we will take it. Now I want to show you what to expect off the mediograms real quick here. Let's get those staged for you. This is the GFS, showing tomorrow being the warmest day at 62. Then we kind of fall off the table. That 50 occurs really later tonight for Monday. We hang around the low 40s all week. Maybe fall back Saturday to 37. That next week is cold, but then we finally see some hope. Of course, y'all know that we like the National Blend of Models a lot, and it shows kind of more consistency there with upper 30s, lower 40s for this week, middle 40s for next week. Those overnight lows, in the lower and middle 20s. So not extreme cold, but it is cold that is noteworthy and cold that we'll have to pay very close attention to. Of course, we'll have updates throughout the day today on the blog about the severe weather threat across Alabama. We'll have the latest severe weather outlook as soon as it comes out from the SPC, and we'll be watching the radar as that squall line approaches Alabama. Late this afternoon, early this evening. Of course, be watching the weather in Mississippi and Louisiana too, where the action could be a little more intense. But pay close attention tonight to those severe thunderstorm warnings, and just when that squall line moves through, it's a good idea to just be in a good, safe place about that time, just in case, because it just takes one tree falling on your house to turn the day into a tragic one. Well, that's your weather video for this Sunday, the 4th of January. I'll have those notes on the blog, complete update on the forecast coming up for you. James will be back with 2 days tomorrow. Scott will be here next Saturday, and I will sit in the same seat next Sunday until I get that opportunity. As I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky, because you'll always have something fun to look at.